Can you hear me now? Testing, testing. This is the DACA-mobile bucket. I don't really want these to get scratched up though, so. Can you hear me? Okay. That's an affirmative. Yeah, I was really getting crazy with the orcs. That is how all of this craziness happened. Tools and hot knife and all of this stuff, because you know I'm assembling an orcmobile and it takes a lot of tools to do that. They are crazy. I was swapping out different heads on the hot knife and the whole 9 yards. But today we're going to do something really simple. Well, I don't know if it's really simple, but I mean, you know, it's simple for me. There's the handle. It popped into here. This is like the video game handle that I'm using. Oh, well, that changed positions on the camera. Hold on, let's pan. There we go. There we go. That I'm going to be using for his controller for the machine gun. So I will also need whatever it is that shows the number that is normally on my front screen.
Here you can request and I'll put it on the list.
Okay. Can I can I oof. Well, that was yeah, I am going to tape this to the orcmobile. One of the things I do this when I move too. It's comes in really handy. One of the things I do is I tape the pieces where they belong. When we move, I put things in Ziploc bags like the hardware and stuff and tape it to the legs of stuff. But this helps. Then I'll just tape it to the orcmobile and then I'll have it there when I come back. To her, let's see if we have any more pieces here. I've got these few things, just a few things. Few platforms. At one point, I dropped the bucket and everything like shot up into the air. It was quite exciting. Is Miniocalypse out there? You guys, does he have the dual link up in his channel? Do we have one in ours, Geek? All right. This is the only thing I was concerned about getting scraped up. Let's see. Nope, that's not one of my envelopes. Let me grab a Ziploc, a tiny Ziploc, you guys. That's interesting. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna put this in here so it doesn't get all scraped up. Hello, Shadow Minx. How are you doing? Oh, he does have one up? Awesome. Can you do me a favor, Shadow? Can you do paste and copy and slap that up in chat for everybody so they can join our co-stream? That would be really kind of you. I appreciate it. And for anybody who doesn't know who Miniocalypse is, he is an amazing mini painter that likes to do, likes to smash things with a hammer. That's kind of how I kind of got familiar with him. As I came in and he was smashing things with a hammer and I was like, oh, I really like this guy. Hello and good morning, Panache. How are you? How are you doing? We're just clearing off. I got really excited with my orc project and I like really seriously trashed my desk big time. Just getting crazy with it. So I'm kind of trying to make a little bit of sense out of it so that we got a thing going on here for you guys for this fellow, who is what we're going to be painting. Let me see. And his wings go in here, and that should do it. A treasure chest. Tired? You're trying to finish some homework? Oh, but I hate it when I've got like a chore or something to do, and what I really want to be doing is painting. I'm like, oh no. And then it seems like that chore takes so long because all I want to do is paint, right? Oh, this glove is no good. We aren't going to use that. That's the glove that I glued to everything last night. I mean, not last night, but the night before. If Megan would have been here, she'd have been laughing her freaking took us off. I like super glued my glove all to the mobile, and then I had to go in with a razor knife and scrape all the little particles of rubber off the mobile. Yeah. Because that, right. That's some of my tacky. Now, what I really would like to do here, and I'm just going to use a paper towel because I'm not actually sure that my little naps are here. I like to get, so I'm going to have a separate station for this tinkering with its own shelves and everything, because one thing I have found is, oh boy, does this make a lot of little silty mess. And then you're going to come back and try to paint, and you know how I am about, see?
Welcome aboard the Black Pearl.
Well, thank you very much for that follow. What's that? Rapid, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for putting that up there, Geek, so I could see that. That really helps out. All right, so yeah, I'm really bad about not liking the fibers and no particles, and you know how crazy I am about all that, right? And how that bothers me. So what I have found in working on this Orkmobile is that, there is a lot of dust and debris that comes when you scrape a line, and it's just everywhere. I mean, holy crapoli. So I'm not really happy about that. I was very excited about working on the Mobile until I acknowledged what kind of mess was actually happening over here. And then I got a little bit concerned. So now I have to pull it and clean it anyway, but now I have to pull everything and clean it. Not this minute, of course, but just enough to, I'll have to do it before Friday though. I'll have to pull it all off. The plastic, I'm making an Orkmobile panache, the Daka Daka Bang Bang Mobile. I don't think I've really posted many pictures of it yet. I've showed people online, but resin's the worst. It's got like a powder, and that one I try to do the resin ones in the booth panache, and I turn on the vent. That's another thing too, is I use the hot knife quite a bit, and even when I turn on the vent, I don't know that it's just pulling enough of those fumes away to it because it's off to my left. So the next booth is going to be bigger, and the fan is going to be stronger, so it'll be a better setup. But in the meantime, what I've got to do is I do the resin in the booth and turn on the fan and protect my face. And then when I'm over here and I'm just doing like plastic and stuff, I just don't think it's as practical. It just leaves too much debris behind. I'm not happy about it. And then that debris ultimately ends up where I don't want it to. Because, you know, it's a little bit dusty, right? And then when you pick something up and clean under it, you end up with the dust where you don't want it. All right. So I have here my little tray that I found at Harbor Freight. Looks like we're a little off center on our. Can I send this thing over to you, Geek?
I don't know what this thing is.
Or maybe not. No, I think, can I adjust it? I think it might be part of, hang on just a second, guys. Yeah, it's part of this chat box, but it was overlapping, so it was like weird. Okay, that way I can see what you guys are seeing. Hello, Green. How are you doing? Yeah, I feel like it's too much cleanup panache. You know, there's just a lot going on. I mean, there's so many tiny pieces, right? And then after you clip them off, then you're like cutting these teeny tiny little particles of plastic, which get everywhere, right? And then you got to scrape the little line, right? And then that dust, and pretty soon, before I know it, like my whole area where I paint was covered in debris. And I'm like, yeah, I loved working on it though. It was awesome to work on. But I think that actually that my paint booth might be a little easier to clean if I do it over there. Yeah, I'm making a big old kit bash, Green Art, and I made quite the mess at my desk with it. Yeah, it was very exciting. And now I got to figure out where I'm going to finish it. I think I'm going to work in the airbrush booth with it, because I can take the airbrush booth, right, and vacuum it and just wipe it all down and like that. Yeah, right. And I'm cutting like everything in the world, and I'm using the hot knife and the hot rod that you poke the holes in, and I'm using 3 different kinds of super glue and green stuff, and it's just like blah, everywhere. So I think it will be better if we do it that way. It's a very small area. The reason I chose this area, actually, believe it or not, is because there's more elbow room here than there is in the airbrush booth. But when I use the hot knife, it'll at least pull those fumes away really good. And also, because it has sides on it, it sort of keeps the debris isolated a little bit more. Whereas here, it gets like all on the back of my desk, in between the paints, on my models that are sitting on my desk. So it was a bad idea, but you know, it's really a cool, I am so loving it. I love it, Panache. I don't know if I have been quite so thrilled with the project as I am with kit bashing. Let me see if I can find here we go. I am really, really enjoying it, especially I think because it's orcs. You know, and orcs put things together from everything, so I'm really enjoying that. So how is everybody out there? How was everybody's Thanksgiving? I'm sure you've probably been asked that enough times. Well, hello, Mark. How are things? Ouch. Sorry, guys, my chopsticks attacked my microphone. I was telling everybody about my big mess that I made out of the Orcmobile project that I'm working on. But are these from the microphone?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have posted many pictures of the Daka Daka Bang Bang mobile as of yet, so everybody's not really familiar with it, but a lot of people are familiar with the fact that I am working on a pretty big project. I am merging an Orcmobile and I can't even pronounce it, hold on. This. Hold on. So I'm making the Orcmobile fly by way of integrating the parts from that helicopter. Oh, Chibi-wan, long time no see. How are things with you, mate? I haven't seen you in a minute. Hey, Dark Side, I'm so sorry. I missed the painting last night, and when I found out, I was like, damn it, because I really wanted to paint. I had to go see a couple more doctors. We're working it all out, though. I'm on the last test procedure today, And then we're on to getting things done on a little more permanent basis. If you can consider, you know, 5 or 6 months permanent. I mean, for me it is, okay? Like semi-permanent or something. It's nice to see you. You're headed down to your hidden gem. Ooh, paint store. Ooh, do tell me what you got. Or are you dropping stuff off? Are you dropping minis off, or are you picking stuff up? Oh, and do tell, Panache, do tell what that is. I'm bashing together Orcs, Marines, and Sisters of Battle. That's the goal. They're pirates. Pretty good, pretty good. I've had some really good luck with the testing that they're running, and it's looking like we may have found, at least if nothing else, not a cure, but when you can get alleviated from the pain of something, sometimes it's almost as good as a cure, as long as it's, you know, something you're not dying of. And I'm not dying of this. It's just permanent, and just gets a little worse with time. You're picking stuff up. They're not a mini store, strictly air. Ooh. Well, do share if even private, if you have stuff, or even if you want to in the channel, dark side. People always want to know the good stuff. Did you sell all of your spawns, by the way? Oh, thank you, Chibi-wan. I don't know if it's a situation that needs that, but I do appreciate it. Okay. I'm glad to hear that. I don't know that, yeah, and you know you're welcome, Dark Side. Anytime you come into the chat to if you've got some guys that are up for sale and a place that you sell them, you're so welcome to put that in the chat and share it with everybody, because you never know who might be in here and want to pick one of those up. You know, Dark Side does different styles of minis. They're actually a lot of his are limited, and they're done by small outlets of designers and whatnot. Really cool. They're very different. A lot of them niche. A lot of them like from horror movies and stuff like that. Really cool stuff, you guys. Really cool stuff. And it's always nice to see like the outside the box thinkers, you know, what other people are painting that's not, you know, run of the mill. I love that part. So Panache on Fridays we're coming back to that. So Fridays is going to be our love gallery day, and Tuesdays is going to be our technical painting day. I was doing it kind of as a challenge, Panache. Hi, Misko. How you doing? All right, that looks really good, you guys. Let me change my pots. Where is Miniocalypse at with his painting project? So I've got all the base colors down. I'm hoping he's going to do like an 80s theme on his, because his guy actually looks like he belongs in a disco. Oh, you're totally welcome, Chibi-wan. Absolutely. So you guys, we are still working on the GoFundMe page for Miniocalypse. Today is the last day. You guys, we have a goal to make, and we are over halfway there. So if you guys can take a look at that. Thank you very much, Shadow. And would you happen to have his GoFundMe page? Shout out, Shadow. You know what, Mark? I agree. Truly, it should be. Every day should be painting day. He failed with metal and priming. Okay. So tell him to scrub the miniature. if he has any 90% isopropyl alcohol, to give the miniature a really thorough scrubbing. Oh, I did? I did? Hello, Wandering Lands. Oh, you know what? Hold on. My brushes are magic. I have 2 of them that are magic like that. It's nice to see you in here, Wandering Lands. I'm going to go grab some clean water, you guys. I'll be right back, okay? And tell, Shadow, pop in over there to Miniocalypse and let him know that if you got to really scrub, especially his has probably been sitting around for a little while. So tell him to give it a really good scrub with 90% isopropyl. Also, what works really good, a toothbrush isopropyl, but also if he doesn't have isopropyl, acetone will work to scrub the metal mini. When you're all done, then you rinse it and then you scrub it with I use Simple Green. You can use a little Dawn dish soap and water and then just give it a really good scrub. And then the primer should hold to it. But I do need to know what kind of primer he's using. Yeah, so so what happens if his is actually all older pewter, when it sits around, the outside oxidizes and the paint won't stick to the oxidation. So you gotta scrub that away. Okay, so Mark says he uses Nitro Moore's paint. Yeah, right. So that's why I'm saying that the acetone will work really good. Maybe he has a different type of thinner, but the problem with using a thinner is a lot of thinners have oils in them. And that oil can get left behind, so make sure you wash it really thoroughly with like a dish soap type solution, Simple Green. Some people use 409. He tried Steinel and then Army Painter. Okay, so, if it's been sitting around and it's not scrubbed really thoroughly, the primer won't want to stick to it. It's really common, super common. Ask him if he's got any primer by chance in a rattle can, Shadow, because on these metal miniatures, you give them a good scrubbing, and I'm not talking acrylic or latex. I'm talking like, basically, it's a kind of like an epoxy bond. There's a catalyst, that's the one, a catalyst type paint in a can that's primer, not acrylic. Those work really good on the metal miniatures for sticking really well. Yes, exactly what Mark is saying. But using, of course, a primer because you want it to have tooth after you spray it on. Even the inexpensive primer from, like Krylon primer, a flat black, flat white, flat tan, any one of those will work. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that might be his best bet is a rattle can that is, designed for painting on metal. Really sticks well. I pick it up all the time when it goes on sale. The matte, I have matte purple, matte red. I pick up all the matte colors when they go on sale. Any one of them, if he scrubs it and dries it, after he scrubs it, Shadow, be sure to tell him to make sure it's dry. Blow drying it is your best bet so that all the nooks and crannies, if he's going to use a rattle can, because if there's any water in the nooks and crannies, that's why I use alcohol first, because it'll dry all the moisture away. Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. I purchase anytime the matte paints for metal, the good brands go on sale. The other thing too is, guys, the cheap ones are not too bad. Let me tell you the trick. There's a handle that atomizes smaller, okay? That you can pop on top of your spray paint can. So you take their lid off and you put the new lid on. But the hose has to be the right size. That's the trick. And they're really hard to find. It's not easy. Once you find one, though, as long as you keep it clean, when you're done using it, oh my gosh, they're priceless. You're laughing at yourself? You know, no, I do. I buy it when it goes on sale, Mark, because so you know what's really fucking hard to prime, you guys? My Little Pony. So, Mark, I scrub My Little Ponies. They're made by WizKids. I scrub them with acetone and remove all the pre-primer. And the plastic that the My Little Ponies are made out of, it's like a little bit rubbery, is so durable. And I scrub it with a toothbrush and acetone right by the sink so I can rinse in between so it doesn't eat into the plastic and sit on it, right? And then when I'm all done, I scrub it thoroughly with dish soap and I prime them with Krylon because it just, it sticks to it. I'll prime them one very light time, you know, like a lighter coat, let that dry, and then I come back and give them their complete base coat. And that sticks to their asses. Like, it doesn't peel or anything. It sticks to their face and their ass. So I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna get some water. Was that what you worked on this weekend, Pete?
That just totally blew up? Yeah.
Was that the thing?
Don't have time to talk about it, Cap.
Okay. You know what I didn't think about? Halford's car primer. There we go. Look, we've got somebody over there in the UK that can recommend some stuff to you guys. That'll be easier to get. Yeah, I do prefer, I like a lot of the car primer that I was using for the metal. The one I was using that I really liked, but then they changed the cap, was Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum motor paint. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, no brushes over there. I wanted to bring Miniocalypse's stream up so I could see what was going on in there. Hang on just a second, you guys. I'll play it very quietly so you guys don't get, you know, the double dose of things. Hold on. I actually don't know what his logo looks like, so there's that.
You know, there's millions of people without the help.
Oops, I don't want that. Okay, hold on. Is that him? Nope. Hang on just a second, you guys. I gotta cover up the chat for just a second so I can find it. It's like really super long. That looks like it could be him. No. Well, it should show up on my followed people, but it's not. So I guess I gotta do a search. Hang tight, guys. Searching. There we go. Just so I can see what's going on in his chat. I'm going to put that over here. There we go. Now I'm back to you guys. There we go. Okay, you guys. So we should have a... Oh, thank you, Shadow. Are you being dead serious right now, Mark? Oh my gosh, did you see what Dark Virtue sent me? Oh, I was so excited, Mark. He sent me his old Eldar, the metal ones. Okay, real quiet. There he is. Okay, what's he putting together with all these plastic pieces? Oh, did he give up on the Eldar? Wait. Oh, no, he's printed something. What did he print? Ooh, what is he printing? Oh, gosh, I tell you, I practically cried when I opened it. It was like this whole bag of crazy-looking Eldar. Okay, so if you guys are not watching the dual stream, we got a link for that so you can see. Looks like Miniocalypse has printed out a pile of little goodies, like a whole pile of them. Ooh, are those mine? Oh, those are mine, you guys. Go check it out. Some of that stuff's going to be given away. Oh, Mark, that was so sweet. I don't know if I've received that just amazing of a hello, Gallowfire. That gift was just so heartfelt. All right, let's see. I'm not that all gifts aren't. It's just, and it was really to open that. It's like he knew me. I really felt like he knew me. It was very heartwarming. It really made me feel good at a time when, like, I'm sure you've heard a lot of talk, Mark, about how, like, streaming's been quieter and slower. And then there was all the people that passed in my life, so I had to take time out. And so, you know, everything has been just really, really off. And, yeah, let's see if we can get our little friend back. Oh, there he is. Look, he's looking at you guys. He's looking at you like, what? What the fuck? Huh? What? He's very suspicious like that. All right, let's see what else we got here. So I was using this one ink here, the Payne's Gray. Oh my gosh! Hello, Motor City. How are you? And Gallowfire, I don't see you in here. All is well. You're just dropping in before you're heading off to the home office. Well, maybe you can bring me up in the home office. I can be your side monitor. What are you up to, Motor City Ray? We are co-streaming with a friend, Miniocalypse. He ran into some problems in his life, and we're kind of doing a little bit of a, he's got a GoFundMe page, and we're trying to collect a few dollars here and there. We actually got over halfway to his goal. And then he's going to be apparently, you know, changing his hours and whatnot, maybe going back to the old 9-to-5 grind. Hopefully he's still going to be streaming at least part-time because I'd like to see him. How are you doing, you rock star, you? It's nice to see you in here. It's so strange that you popped up. I cannot remember what it was I was doing, but I brought you up in the conversation just recently. And I was like, damn, you know what? I should just check with him. Did I send you a message? Because I was supposed to send you a message to check in on you. Because I was really curious, you know, how it was all going. Let's see. What do we got here? We are going with the red shade of the, hold on, phthalo. I'm supposed to pronounce this right. Dave's helping me with my pronunciations on some of the paints. I am doing this crazy kit bash, Ray. I'd love, you know, Ray, interestingly enough, do you know that I have you on our Patreon invite list when we have our third Sunday paint jam? We have a lesson beforehand, and a lot of times I bring masters from all locations of the world. Somebody will come and teach us a class, or I will teach one. And then when we're done with that, I take a 1 hour break, and then we paint into the night. And I put you on the guest list permanently so that if it worked into your schedule, you could come join us. That's the third Sunday of every month. because I thought it would be really cool to hang in jam. We got cameras, we've got voice, we've got painting. Some people game, other people tinker. So oh yeah, on the TikTok, right? Okay, so yeah, I've been making a few TikToks. I haven't. I need to get to doing more. I really kind of enjoy it. I'm gonna learn how to do the whole fancy cut, splice, stream, paste together, whatever that is. Over halfway there with the Necrons. If we meet wait, what? Oh yeah, because somebody's so okay. So yeah, when we make it to the $1,000 point, I'm giving away a box of Orc Boys, okay, to somebody. And then if we make the goal, somebody's painting up like a whole Necron army to give away. So that should be cool. All right, and then the yellow we were using was definitely the cold yellow. So that would be, yeah, just cold yellow. Oh yeah, Gallifire, I'm telling you what, absolutely. I use them pretty much for everything. Like, at least if nothing else, they are my go-to for my first blend. On things. I am definitely loving them. I also, because I found out that Chimera paints are made by the same company that makes Scale 75. So I also got all the Scale 75 paints, and I am not disappointed, let me tell you what. I got all the paints in the dropper bottles and all the paints in the tubes. Those paints in the tubes are something to be reckoned with. Let me tell you what. Yeah, I'm pleased. Yes, her painting skills in the last little bit have just completely skyrocketed that girl. I remember when I first started streaming and seeing her work. Wow, Miniocalypse is pretty darn fast at that. Removing and cleaning there what he's got going on. All right, I think my palette might be a little, see that? See how the blue did? So my palette's a little wet for these paints. I don't recommend that, you guys, when it does that. So the Chimera paints don't like your palette to be too wet. Neither do the, hold on, Pro Krills. They don't like it. And the Cuttlefish are pre-mixed, so they're not too fond of it. So I left a little too much moisture on there. If you get your palette paper like too wet, you can usually dry off the top with a paper towel and correct the problem, just keeping the moisture underneath. That's how I do. Yeah, it just got a little bit crazy there. Let me see. I am also using, what were we doing? So we got the blue, and then we were using the ink in the shadows. I was using the base red from the Chimera colors, just that comes in the original set. I did have a couple of, where is that though? I did have a couple of colors as we highlight those areas. So notice that we did his cloak with that. And I was thinking as we highlight those areas, we could like bring it up to a vermilion. That would be really cool. And we could probably get in the shadows without any problem with the Payne's Gray. So Payne's Gray loves to be a shadow. I think it's the color of a lot of shadows. In my mind, it is. Shadows in my mind. How's this microphone sound, you guys? Are you just picking up me and not everything else in the world? And there's some black. I see the oxide up here. Now I'm wondering what I did with the red though. So that's magenta. Oh, okay. So red almost in the, so that's why I have this other one out here, which is the Mayhem Red by Scale 75, because you'll notice, right? I had to have like a darker color. the other thing too is you can just mix this if you want to, with black, if you want to bring the red on down. But this is more of a warm red, and I was kind of looking for his cloak to be more of a cool red, you know, like a tomato, not tomato, but like a blood. We could probably do like these two. That's a Ball Crimson by Scale 75 and Mayhem Red. I mixed with black to create that, and that was the Chimera. And then I've got this other one by Chimera back here that is called Cartax Cartassi Red. I want to say, looking at it, that's probably what I broke out. If you were to look at this color, you'll see that it's much cooler. It's got blue, whereas the red that comes with the base color set, that one is more of a fire engine red. So if you were to put these side by side, you can see that one leads towards a warmer palette and one leads towards a cooler palette. Let's take a look at those two side by side. See, this is a cooler palette. This is a warmer palette when you look at them. So you can, I kind of wanted the cloak to be in the cooler red. So we'll go ahead and use this. Let's see where it rides in reference to these. So probably we don't need both of these. So we can take this one out. This one here looks like it'll mix with the Payne's Gray really well. Like glazing over that will make sure. And then to bring this one up, what I will do is actually add the cold yellow to it to bring it up. So I'm not a huge, well, actually, the other thing I learned from so many of you guys that's really kind of cool is if you take a, on the subject of cool, if you take a skin tone, now this one's a little bit peachier than I want it to be. I believe the one that I've been using is fair skin tone. So what Samini taught me to do, that's really interesting, you guys, let me show you. Instead of, so when you go white in the red, it creates like these pink highlights, and sometimes that can look like really off. So, and then if you use yellow, it goes to orange, and then sometimes your thing becomes orange. So he taught me to use a super light skin tone. So what I do is I take this one and I mix a little bit of the milk bottle in it to make it even lighter. But he uses, I do have one somewhere in from one of our projects. He uses one like, there's one by Vallejo called like Fair Skin Tone. I actually have a bunch of them in the Reaper. They're not out though. Let me see if my Vallejo is out. No, the only one that's out on the Vallejo is like the rose tint. Well, hello. How are you doing, Use Your Wood? So I had at one point, a real fair skin tone pulled out. I want to say actually that's probably it. Because I've been really leaning a lot on the Scale 75 lately. I really like the way the Scale 75s glaze. But this one particular color by Cuttlefish that's called Milk Bottle Cream, you know, it's its own thing. Oh, wow, look at all that stuff that he's got on his printer. And the Neocalypse is going to town over there. So I'm going to put a little bit more of this out because we're going to need it. How are things with you, Use Your Wood? I sent you some messages. And then what I'll do is I'll just take those two and go about half and half. I like to use my ugly brushes for mixing. Wherever you sent me the pictures. No, it's more like 20% of the skin tone. I'm gonna make another one here It's a little bit darker. I'm going to mix those with the red for the highlights. Make sure I got that red nice and mixed. Oh yes, we have, so our studio so far, Shadow has several of them. We've got a small one, a medium one, another medium one is on its way, and then we have the really, really big ones. We kickstarted a couple of massive printers. Woo! Where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? I can't stand that the wheel always falls. That's why I'm doing this all the time, is the wheel falls in this. Ooh. Uh-oh. Got a little excited. I was squeezing the red while talking to you. But I don't waste any of my Chimera. So if that happens, I pull it off the lid. It actually has one of those little, let me see, where's my poker guy? Yeah. They get, and this will make them not seal, and then they'll get more dry paint around them. So I usually take those off. So they close nice and tight, although they still get a little bit of buildup, but it's cool. Okay, and then so this one, for the cape, we're gonna take a little bit of that over there. Got a lot on the brush. I don't like them. We get the property treated for the sake of Hammy. They're really pretty, but I don't like them because of the ticks and the fleas. And then from there, over here, let's see. Yeah, over here, we'll take some of the Payne's Gray. And then I'm going to drag that and the red together. There we go. So you got a little bit of shadow going on. All right. And now, so he's already received his first coat. That right there, there's a color that Chimera makes. Hold on, I gotta find it. It's a secondary color. It's called Cloud something. Let me find it. Milk Bottle Cream is nice too, but this color that they make called, what is that? So no, it's not Sunray. This is it. Cloud Sky. So Milk Bottle Cream probably will cover that really beautifully, but by making it a little bit darker color, we can really get a nice highlight on the white. So my secret to painting white is making the white a color that is tinted towards any color I'm working with. And if I'm not working with a color on them, like in this case, it will kind of be with blue, because you would have blue, but I'm going to save that for when I start, building it. But generally, if you're doing white, it's going to pick up the colors around it. So like, let's say they're near a lot of green, you could go with a slightly green white. I don't want that in there. Or you could mix a little bit of another color of gray. You could make just whatever. But basically, I just don't use plain white until I get to the ultimate top highlight. Now, if you notice, I'm going to put this out here by the Milk Bottle Cream. So this is there, sorry, you guys can't see that. It's a little bit warmer. Not exactly, because Milk Bottle Cream is like a little bit orange. This is a little bit brown and a little bit green. It's really quite a neat color. The other one that's really cool, that's a white that they make, is Sunray. That one's very warm. So comparatively speaking, you know, this one's warmer than this one. But this is a white. This is in the, by the way, in the non-metallic metal set. I love, absolutely, I love them, love them. This one's got like, you know, that nice warm, sunny feel to it. The other one's kind of got that gloomy feel to it. And then I mix my own cold grays. Sorry, guys. I mix my own cold grays. Usually. All right. I haven't even gotten to like what we're going to do with the metal on his sword. I can totally just mix a base gray. You'll notice that the black and the blue over here on the side got happy ass with each other because my palette was too wet. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to make you seasick on purpose. But I can just drag that out. Oh! Hello, Wavy. How's things with you, mate? Yes, yes. Some are Chimera and some are scale 75. Let me get my little hood, guys, so I can get right up here on this. I actually do wear this. Yeah, how are you doing? Headshot, headshot. What?
They spooky the shit out of you.
Okay. One thing I want to do is take the black. Actually, I need a smaller brush. Smaller. I'm going to take the black and the blue mixed together. What are you up to, Wavy? And I'm going to get the inserts on all of his armor here with a really nice dark color in the background. And every place where armor overlaps and in between. That way, and I'm also going to go for the shadows with that. You know, I think things are looking up. I do. We're going to probably take off for a little Christmas getaway in a couple of weeks. Maybe more than a couple of weeks. So I'm taking that black and that blue, I mixed it together, and we're getting in all these shadow areas that are all up next to all of his armor and everything. And then in the slots between the armor. And what this is going to do is really give some incredibly good depth to the character when he's on the table or if he's being displayed. Oh, did you? Yeah, I'm excited. I am not going to break out my oil paints until I'm at the new desk. I've decided it was a crazy idea to try to do that, you know, break out new products before we get to an area where we can get it all, you know, organized and coming together the way we want it. All right. We are doing a little co-stream and helping out a fellow community member. If you're interested in seeing the co-stream, there's a link for it, Wavy. He's got a GoFundMe page going. His family hit some hard times, and so we were trying to help out a little by getting together with him and doing some painting, hanging out, seeing if we could get his GoFundMe page to its goal, which actually isn't really all that bad. We've got some prizes to give away when we hit those mile markers. We're really close to the Orc Boy box. That's for sure. We're just, I don't know, I think we might be like a couple $100 off. And then I'm going to send out an Orc Boy box to the winner, to the person, to somebody. When we get to that point, we'll do a little giveaway. And then if he makes the goal, we have somebody that's going to paint up a Necron army and send it out to them. That's like super exciting. All right, let's see about his, he actually is showing his teeth, which I thought was weird. I thought, am I just seeing that? Okay. Now, once we get all those really dark blue-black places in where we want them, they're going to end up getting glazed over again with another color. But what this will do is just give you a good idea of where you know your darkest points are going to be. I kind of like to have my shadows, and Samini really kind of stressed that in me, to kind of have my really deepest shadows in a good position before we start with all the highlighting and everything. It's just, I think it's a little bit easier to do it that way. At least that's the way that I've found it. All right, there we go. Okay. Thank you, Shadow. All right. So then, after we do that, we're going to want to get into the shadows that are, this is the white color. And I'm going to go ahead and go over his helmet again with this Cloud Sky by Chimera. I am painting right over the jewels. Don't even worry about the areas that are going to be black, because we're going to come back in and reclaim those. So basically right now I just want to get good cover on his white helmet. And mind you, I chose a white again that is an off-white color, so that we are able to get our highlights where we want them and some nice shadowing. I like to go a little bit light with the shadowing on my whites. In this case, I've got a good color, I think, to combine with the milk bottle. That milk bottle is a color I specifically like, made by Cephalopod Paints. I'm a big fan of that particular color. I'm going to get that black covered up over here as well. If you find that, like the areas that are in the cracks, you know, where the two meet, it doesn't perfectly cover when you come back. One of the things about a recess like that is you're going to be putting a shadow in it anyway, so it's totally okay. Oh, you did? Okay, awesome. Oh, dinner, right. Dinner, oh, dinner and homework time. Okay, sure thing, Wavy. Probably Friday. Probably Friday is when I'll be back in there. We're going to get into this red that we mixed the ink with over here. And we're going to get in those shadows. Right now I'm using a little bit bigger brush so I can get some really good coverage, and then I'll come in with a little brush to change it up a little bit. This is the side that the light is on. I'm excited to see what Wavy's been working on. He's really been inspired about doing some of that oil painting. He watches Wapelius a lot, and Wapelius does his in oils. Wapelius has been telling me for years to go back to my basics and break my oils out. I just, like I said, though, I really feel like it would be better timing if I waited until we got the new area set up and then break out a new product. I'm taking a little bit more of that Payne's Gray as I get onto the side that has less light and lower on the cape, and a much finer brush, and get into the recesses a little bit there with it, so we can get a bit more depth. I still mixed it with the red. We're gonna get this side here. I'm gonna mix the red up a little because this is on the light side. So we're gonna bring that red, the darker red, a lot less ink in it, especially down here where some of the light might be getting in. And then I'll just kind of glaze it on out. Okay, I'll go for that straight red, the darker red, and all the areas that I didn't catch with the shadow, I'll paint. Mind you, now this is when I'm painting something that's gonna go in a game. So I'm doing what Sensei calls my Warhammer painting. Okay, guys. Now you can use this on anything you want to. It's just that it's a little bit different than the numerous little strokes that I take when I'm blending. Yes, there's little strokes. It's just that it's not as many layers, I guess you could say. So that's my secondary red, going backwards from the shadows, of course. Okay, so you can kind of see how that starts to, now I'll thin that same color really thin, okay, and then I'll paint it in a thin layer over the area that's on the darker side that has the shadows. And what ends up happening there is it's going to let the shadows show through more, so it still becomes darker. And then I'll kind of take that same color and get a few of the areas that are just a little bit more lifted. I'm going to go for the straight red and catch this area here and this little bit of an area that I feel like we'll be getting a little bit of light there. So it kind of lifts the red. Oh, okay. And since it's been sitting shadow, then yes, no, I get it, Wavy. I totally get it. All right. Now we're going to come back here and we're going to the blue that we have here, we're gonna take the straight blue and I'm painting the top portion of the feathers.
Welcome aboard the Black.
Thank you so much for that follow, Kale. Thank you. And then we're gonna flip it. We're going to leave that alone. It got plenty settled in, and then we're going to do the tops of the feathers here. I'm kind of waiting for the red to set up before I go attacking the armor. I just want the red to be nice and dry. Okay. Now we hit those, and then we're going to come in here. We're going to rinse that brush really, really good, and we've got to get this, so back in between his legs there, we need to get some of this ink and red that's mixed together, the really dark one. in those recesses. Okay. Now you're going to take your white that you made his helmet with, and you're going to mix the smallest amount of red, making almost like a muddy red color. But once my brush gets that in it, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get into this shadow color here, and I'm going to make what looks like a mauve. Okay, it might need a little bit more shadow. Whoa, little ink pot, a little bit more shadow than that. We want to have a little bit of the white in there, okay, and a little bit of the red, and I'm going to thin that, and I'm going to get that like right in here on this side of his white garment. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do is take that same color and I'm going to hit the really dark recesses, places where we got some real good shadow, okay, with that on his white garment, like where it turns in, where there's a really deep crease, okay. And I'm also going to come around the side that has the light, and where the red and the white meet, I'm also going to put a line. And where his leg, you'll notice there's an area right back here by the cloak. This ensures that my entire mini has paint on it. And I feel, I mean, unless I'm doing tabletop, that is really important. Now what I'll do is take that same color and bring it up in its gray tone to where we can use it as a shadow secondary. And that way we can bring the shadows that are above those going more into the light, and we can kind of calm those down. And then I will take that same white and bring it up yet again. And I will paint the base of the garment with that in the areas where I feel like it's getting respectable light. Always remembering that the interesting thing about light in folded fabric is it doesn't always just have shadows in the folds, okay? So I'm going to make almost a stripe of light. I will bring the edge up because that adds a nice dynamic to things that are table game pieces. Okay. Again, the first time you put the white on, your shadows are going to show through a little. Does it look awesome? I know, right? We're always so critical of our own work. Then I'll take some more of that and I'll bring it up yet again. And now here's where I do those little crazy lines that I do. Bringing up the highlight portions so that you are able to make it out better. And then I will take the milk bottle cream, which is a little higher than that, I love to paint white. Okay, now let me focus in on that for you because you guys aren't really getting a very good view. There you go. There we go. There you go. Now you can totally calm all those shadows. You gotta let it dry, but you can calm all those shadows down with just a little bit of a glaze. Come in here and get a little bit of that secondary. So it looks more like it's shadowing back, see? Right? Same thing on the front. Okay, not like boom in your face. All right, now we're gonna take his helmet while we've got that color out and mixed, and we're gonna take that the shadow that is, we did a really dark shadow, but we're gonna save that for around the edges. We'll take the secondary one instead, and you'll hit these areas that brush change, need better brush. Need more control, better brush. Okay. Lighter. Okay, so we gotta, I'm gonna do the same thing. Now the other side's gonna be just a wee bit darker because of the fact that the light we've determined is coming from here, like this way. Okay, so it's not gonna really get around this part here. So we're gonna come in a little bit darker in his recess there. I'm gonna pick the edge back up and pull it down. There we go. Lighter. And even lighter. Hello, Ishan. How's things? Family, job, all of it. I like to paint the helmet before the last of the feathers. Between you and me, I'm probably going to mess up on the helmet, and then I'm going to get it like in all the recesses of the feathers, and I'm not a big fan. Okay, so the light's coming from here, so we want to get like this part back here dark, right? We're going to thin. I'm going for that medium one again because we're on the side that actually has the light. And then we're going to go for the one in between. And then I'm going to go for the one that's really light. And that's the milk bottle that I'm using. And of course I will use that like around the mouthpiece that's in the light. I'm going to get these little flanges. He's got like they kind of flare out. So I want to get that effect using, even on the side that doesn't have as much light, I want to get a little bit of that. Larkin, Larkin. Then I'm going to take, oh, well, I don't even have any plain white out. Hold on, I got to get some plain white. I actually had a white over here that was like, I was thinking, I've been thinking, oh, there's the light flesh, you guys. There, it's actually by Reaper. Fair Skin by Reaper. That's the one that, I mixed it though. It's the one that I have is like really, really close. That's on the palette. Oh, there it is. What is it? Nope, that's Turbo Dork. Yes, this is some Turbo Dork. No, it's Purity White by Scale 75. I was going to give it a wing. But I'm not going to go for the pure white yet, simply because I let his helmet dry. Okay, so you notice that, like, I got to get a little bit more of this shadow belt here. And around the face area, I want to kind of like get in here with some shadows that are a little bit more pronounced to make the helmet stand out a little bit better. And then I'll still come in there with, well, that's his eye on this side. We don't want to do that. And then let's see, that's his nose right there. So I want to get these areas like kind of popping out a little bit. Around the gems and stuff. And I'm just taking that same white color and adding a little bit of that Dollar Brownie ink to it. Let me center that a little better for you guys. There you go. So I can get just a bit more pronunciation there before I come in with the plain white, and also I've got to get some environmental colors in there. There. I think I have it. I think I have it, Wavy. You know, I mixed, so over here, like on the palette right now, I've got the Chimera, like it's the Phthalo Red Blue, and their black make the best midnight blue. All right, so the cloth is dry. Now we can take and make that, the wash. We want to use the, we want it to be real thin. Well, I don't even know if you call it a wash. It's really more of a glaze, you guys. I'm going to take the next one. Now you notice it calms it down a little bit. Now the next one that I do, notice his legs are blue, right? So there's going to be a little bit of blue because it's white cloth. So I will take the tiniest bit of blue and mix it into the next glaze. Let that one dry. I know. I'm trying to get a hold of somebody to get me a set. Wow, my lips look almost orange in this light, you guys. It's really supposed to be red. Does this look red or orange to you guys? What color is my hair, red or orange? Okay, so there's a tiny bit of blue in this next one, and what I'm going to do is go on this. Oh, hello, Dave. How are you? How are you? How are things? Wavy put something in the love gallery. Anybody who wants to go, hey, exclamation point links. We'll give you my Discord. You can go in there and see what Wavy was working on with oils. All right, there. Now, do you see what happened there? I just added a glaze of white. I calmed all the shadows down, right? When we put the highlights on, then you'll see how, like, white doesn't need these terrible shadows just to make it look white. Now, once we go in there and we put the highlights back on and lift that back out, you're going to get like a really good appearance from that. Now, we're going to come in here on the yellow. How is Miniocalypse coming along? Did he get his primed, guys? We are co-streaming with our friend Miniocalypse, you guys. He has a GoFundMe page running to try to help his family out. His studio didn't quite do what he wanted it to do. And so he's going out here real soon to get himself a 9 to 5. So he'll still be coming with us part-time. But basically, I wanted to help him get through the holidays comfortably, pay off some bills that they're behind on. And I thought, hey, you know what? It is the season. Let's give it a try. So he's got a GoFundMe page if you guys need that. And we also have a dual stream going on. So if you just grab the link, Shadow has it. Sorry about that, guys. I'm painting too. Here, hold on. I'm painting tight in today. There we go. Better? Is that a good, better view? A gooder? Is that a gooder view? Is it gooder? Is this view gooder? There we go. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, I desperately need a set, Wavy. I've been reaching out in a number of directions, but I have a couple of places that. Hi, Real Brush Guy. How are you doing? Let me make sure I didn't miss anything while I was busy getting crazy with my white here. How are things, Real Brush Guy? All right, so we were gonna do gold on his armor. We're gonna do gold. I don't remember. We're gonna do yellow. We're gonna do gold. I think we're gonna hold on. Let me look on the desk here and see what we got. I've got Turbo Door out, but that I could not be gonna paint that Turbo Door colors. Hold on. Let me get a little bit more of the plain red over here so we can build up a little bit of light right here, right? Just on this side that's kind of peeking out. We want to keep the shadow nice in by the leg, but a little bit here on this side that's peeking out will give a little bit of a little bit more dimension. No, a little bit here. Oh, is it relaxing time? Well, we are painting up an Eldar for the Noveldar page for Studio J. Today is the last day of Noveldar, you guys. Next year, I want to do a contest with it. What do you think about that idea? Next year, we'll have an Eldar contest. So this is, again, the same base red we've been using, but we are coming in here. Let me, actually, we're coming in here and we are picking up the areas that have a little bit more light with it, okay? So what it's gonna do is let less of the dark red that we painted show through, and that's gonna give us a little lift in color. A little bit here where I think a little light might sneak in on that fabric. Give it a little bit more volume there. There, you see how that works? Right? Now we're gonna thin it again You want it to be like a little thin coat. And right here, maybe, we're just going to take a little bit of that and glaze it on so that it picks up a little bit, but it's not going to be, it's going to let the shadow show through, so it's not going to be too crazy. Then if I were to take, at this point, the really bright red, watch this. So this is just the bright red. See? So it's just a different shade of red. I didn't do anything crazy. It's just a different shade of red. And that different shade of red will just come in here where we've got the light coming from, right? I'm even going to get real crazy with it. Watch this. I'm going to bring this light right into there. And then what I want you to see happen is the fabric move. What you up to, Dave? Now, one thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to carry this light right on through there. Just like that. In this recess right here, I lowered the light on the red a little bit. Okay. If you ever feel like you get lost, like, you know, you do it and then you look at it and you go, oh, I totally don't like that. So the nice thing about paint is that you get to go back and, you know, make it the way you want. Playing some D&D tonight? That sounds like fun. Yeah. Now we'll get that nice deep red that's our base coat. Did Miniocalypse get his primed? How's he doing? I see it on his desk there. Okay, now, once I get that highlight in place, I'm able to come in here with the shadow and define exactly what I want out of that. And you'll see. There. So that way you actually have some of the visual of the red in the back, the shadows. And I'll come back for that light red. It's just a different shade. In these areas where I went into the wrinkles, I will just add dots. Because he's a small guy, so. There you go. And then generally I'll put like a filter over it. Good evening, Slanesh Donkey. What a nice name. Can we call you the Donkey? We are painting some Eldar today. We are finishing up our last Eldar for Noveldar, which is a little Eldar painting month that Studio J threw out there, and we thought, hey, yeah, we will join. Now, you can take that skin color we were talking about, right, and make a slightly lighter red with it. Remember, we used a little bit of a light skin tone, and I'm going to thin it. Super thin, because you can always go back and add more. But if you put a big glob of it on there and then you don't like it, and you're like, oh yeah, no, that's not working for me. What you have to do to go back to fix it is a lot harder than if you just add a little bit at a time. This is the light skin tone mixed with a little bit of the red to give a lifted highlight color without it becoming orange. Simony taught me that. Eldars are purple. Hi, Stinger. No, Eldars aren't, but your orc baby is going to be purple. Your orc baby that's in my army is going to be purple. Eldar aren't purple. Well, this guy's army isn't purple anyway. I mean, I have to, this is for somebody, Stinger, so I kind of have to stay with, you know, his, what he wants. A little bit of skin tone, gotta thin it. Gotta thin it. This is gonna be probably my highest light on this. And then I'm gonna use a red filter. How are you doing? I've been thinking about you. Been doing some studio cleaning. Got Morty. Morty might be purple. Have you had any time to play or paint or anything? Any plans in that area? Okay. Now I'm gonna let that dry. We'll take a tiny bit of the lighter red, it's just a little interest point, right? Little bit, just to kind of draw the red all the way over. Oh, right on. So did you find a place? I remember you were moving and getting a new job, and there was like all this stuff going on. How are things? Are you settled in? How's the girl? Don't want that there. I'm coming in to kind of stagger this highlight a little. And get that one a little more red. Okay, see what I did there? Just kind of staggering the highlight. Okay, now, there you go. That's a better representation. She's okie, right on, right on. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear that people made it through COVID, and I know a lot of people that once people were cooped up together, those relationships didn't work out. So it really makes me feel good to know that you guys did. I like y'all. think you're a cute couple. Okay, there we go. Okay, now on these feathers on his head, we're going to use a general shadow. So I'm going to take the ink and I'm going to really thin it. The Payne's Gray. And I'm going to put it in like so. So it's hard to see because the yellow really bleeds out, but basically what I'm doing is getting the base of the feathers with it so that where it comes together at the helmet is a lot darker. And then really get a lot of it in here in the area that's on the opposite side of the light. I'm also going to soak it into the top so that in the indentations in these little feathers really come through. Okay, so you can kind of see. There, you can kind of see it now. It starts to show up. I don't just paint a straight stripe across, okay? I stagger this. I'm going to do the other side. Now, the other side has a lot more light on it, so we won't do as many layers. But again, we're going to paint one layer. We want to get one good layer. I usually use a corner of my palette for this. Where the edge of the helmet and the feathers connect, okay? How's Miniocalypse doing? We're doing a co-stream with Miniocalypse, you guys. He's got a GoFundMe page up and running. We're trying to help his family out. They hit a rough time, and it's just before the holidays and just before he goes back to work. He's going to go back and do the whole 9 to 5 thing. Oops, don't want that there. And he basically just kind of needs to get himself out of a little bit of debt so he doesn't sink any further. And I thought, you know, being as it was Christmas and everything, that's a terrible time to have this going on. So I thought that we would co-stream together and see if maybe we could hit his goal, which isn't really that much, to be honest with you. You guys, like his total goal. And we've got somebody that's going to be painting up a Necron army, section of a Necron army, if we make the goal. And I've got a box of Orc Boys that I'm going to give away once we hit the $1,000 mark. The total being $1,500. This brush doesn't like to keep its frickin' hairs together. Probably not one of the better brushes to be using right now, actually, since I'm trying to get detail here. Okay. All right, so there we got the feathers darker at the bottom and lighter at the top. Okay. $8.70. So yeah, so at 1,000, we've got a box of Orc Boys we're going to give away. And then if we make the goal, which hopefully we will, I don't remember who it is painting up a Necron army from a special box. Tell us about that box. Shadow, do you remember that? Tell Miniocalypse to get his fucking paint on, Shadow. All right, so I'm going to take this and come in here and hit the tops of the yellow. Do you see what happens there? Okay. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to let it bleed down into the shadows like so. There we go. That way. Whoop, let me get a better view for you guys. There. Let me get you there. Whoa, whoa. There. Is that focused? There you go. So we'll have to hit those with a couple of those. Basically drag it, kind of pull it from the light edge into the dark. Okay. Tell him my Eldar is going to come over there and disco stomp his if he doesn't get some paint on. Okay, now we've got to lighten the blue, okay, to get a little bit of light on it. So we're going to take that blue, and I'm going to use the, I'm going to see what this milk bottle does to make a light blue and see if I like it. It looks pretty good. We'll thin that a little. And we're just going to bring this light blue in the areas where we've got a little more light, kind of dragging it down. See what I did there? Right? And as the light fades away, we won't see it at all. So we want to get this one that's in the front real good right there. But I don't want it to soak in, so I sort of dried my brush out, so it's kind of a little bit speckly looking. That was the word I was looking for, was speckly. Now the nice thing about this is that we can lighten it up and then we can totally glaze it. I mean, chimeras are like so amazing to work with. They really are. So we'll get some of this blue going in here, and then we're able to actually come in and just like go right back in those little recesses. You want to use little glazes of paint so you don't take up all your recesses there. See? What are we doing? Gel tip or just regular yellow? Oh, wait, hold on. No, I'm using Cold Yellow by Chimera. It's Cold Yellow. And we're going to take a little bit more, and then we'll come in here and we'll kind of like bring it in over the shadow. We want to glaze it over the shadow so we don't have such a dark bluish looking shadow in the yellow, right? You see how that works? So it starts to bring it together. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a witty bit of the shadow color and mix it with the yellow so that right here I can sort of drag it in to get a little bit more of a variegated appearance on that. Gradient is the word that you guys would want me to use. Okay? And then we'll flip it and we'll do that same thing to this. We're talking a tiny bit of the yellow mixed with the shadow color, and that shadow color that I'm using again is Payne's Gray. That is an ink. And once we get those two mixed together, you'll notice that that really smoothed it out. Hello, Paul. Did I miss you? Hello, Dextrose. Wait a minute. Is Paul Dextrose or Dextrose Paul? Well, hi, Paul. Hi. Oh, Necron Warriors. Okay, there's going to be a giveaway for 10 Necron Warriors, 3 Scarab Swarms, 3 Scorpid Destroyers, Necron Overlord. Copy paste from Amazon. In case you're wrong. Okay, you guys. So that's, if we make the goal, we're going to be giving away those guys. Yeah, this yellow by Chimera is really amazing gel tip. It's one of the few yellows. Now, mind you, it still glazes, but just to let you know, it has amazing coverage, like really good coverage. And they make this one. Oh my gosh, you would totally, oh wait, wrong one. Well, I love that one too, but hold on just a minute. I want to show you something. They make this other yellow here. It's in a, this is the non-metallic metal set gel tip. There's a color called Sunray. Oh my God, it's like, they're white and a little, oh, it's wonderful, a little yellow hue. We can actually use this for the highlights on our feathers if we like. Oh, wait, a partridge in a pear tree. And you and Shadow's gonna 3D print a partridge in a pear tree and throw it on top. Yeah, let's try that. We'll try that because I had, whoop! Instead of having to mix it. The nice thing about it is it's consistent. You know what I mean? You always get the exact same color. So we can try a little bit of that. Whoop! Okay, Popeye officially got painted on. So let's see. We'll take a little bit more of that mixture and put it right in here. Hold on. That's where we mix the shadow and the yellow, and we're on the side that has the shadows right now, okay? And what I'm doing is making a nice gradient, you see, so that we don't get like just this area chopped off. And then we'll just make sure we've got that happening over here. It looks real good. And then we're going to go back for the blue. Now, in the case of the blue, one of the things that we want is we want to get that Payne's gray in these recesses for the shadows, okay? And then we're going to use a dry brushing technique. Notice I got a little bit on his helmet. See, I told you that I didn't want to finish his helmet because I knew I was going to like get all over the place. Ooh, Miniocalypse is painting with, what is he doing? Is he painting with color shift colors over there? Is that what he's doing? Is he getting crazy? Is he painting his disco guy? Ask him if he's painting a disco guy. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that stream. Okay, so we get a really nice gray at the base of those blue feathers. That's Payne's gray, which, good afternoon. Hey, Dee Dee, how are you and your crazy Eldar? Thank you so much for sharing all your Eldar on the page. You guys, we reached over 100 posts for Noveldar this year. It was really exciting. I'm so happy for Studio J. All right, now we're gonna go back with a drier brush. We painted some red cloth. Now we're probably dry enough, you guys, to do that filter. Super easy. You want to take the base red color that you have, and you want to make it really thin. Okay, that's the first base red we had, the little bit darker one. And all you're going to do is just take it and glaze the entire area. It's really thin. Get the bubbles out. And what's going to happen when you do that is look at how it's going to make the cape like all tie it together. A little filter really makes it nice there. See? It calmed down those chops in the highlights. Yep. And if you want your highlights lower, you just filter it again. Oh, thank you. This is actually somebody's work. This is for a specific person. We're painting it like his army. So, you know, there's a... We're doing the whole... Actually, what he told me was that whatever I painted it was going to look better than whatever he did. So he just wanted me to kind of go for it. But since he already had a whole army, I really felt like painting it like the army was the way to go. I appreciate it. We're working on that dynamic that really stands out. You can put a link in the channel if you want. I'm sure everybody would want to see your craziness. I tell you what, because I used a whole bunch of sewing supplies to create a magic effect on one. So I just want you to know that yours really, I just was so happy to see somebody doing something crazy like that. Really made me happy. It really made me realize that I need to be free. Dee Dee created some Eldar with some crazy magic effects. It really turned out well, you guys. All right. So we got a little bit of red in there. Okay. Now I'm gonna get out a color. So in order to represent the yellow, I'm gonna get out a little bit more of a golden yellow. I don't know, maybe the white yellow would be better, but I'm going to put this on the side just in case I end up needing it, just a tiny little bit of it. And we're going to come in here. Okay. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to get the the blue. I thinned it. He's got a lot of blue on this side. Back at that yellow. Back at the blue. Remember, this is the side that has the light. So I'll probably concentrate a little bit more. Okay, I'll leave that for now. This little bit of a red scoop here. This is our base red that we're using as a highlight here. Okay, now we've got to come in for his details. So we've got a base on his armor. We've got a base that we need to figure out. I think that the reason that all of that is black is probably because we were going to use a little, like something a little shiny, like a non-metallic. I mean a true metallic. Now, I don't want to spoil the representation. I want to keep it kind of in the realm of being cool to go with this guy's army. So I'm thinking a color that's more of a pearlescent. There's this color by Scale 75 called Trash Metal. It's kind of a gunmetal, but with green in it. I'm really liking it. I don't like this one. I just think it throws everything off. But this one I think really goes because we've got yellow and we've got blue. Now that our plumage is dry, we can come in here and pull the top highlights in a little bit more with just the plain yellow. And you see how that works, how the shadow lays underneath of it. And the gradient, because of the glazing, comes out a lot better. I'll take some real close-ups of it for you guys so you can really see it. The lights, of course, as usual, kind of don't represent what I'd like them to, but again, we're also fixing that when we move the studio. All right, now we're gonna get a dryer brush before we go on to his metal. We're gonna get a dryer brush. It needs to be kind of small, okay? But literally, what I'm saying this, I need an ugly brush and I literally need a dry brush. And I like a flat tip. So we're talking about a bright, right? Yeah. And we're going to go in, well, first we got to mix a little bit of light blue over here on the palette. I was using the milk bottle cream and that worked out really good. It didn't come out green at all. Okay, there she is. Okay, now I'm going to take this little bright and I'm going to put it in the first light blue. And I'm going to drag it across the top of the feathers. I'm also going to come on top here and drag it over the feathers. So it's going to leave all the little stipply, let me focus in on that. There. So it's going to leave the little dark spots. You can also come back with a really fine knife and, brush and reintroduce. So first I take the light blue I made the first phase of it, and then I will change it to the second phase. So I've got over here on the palette, I've got hold on, there we go, 2 different light blues for my highlight on the feathers. I want to make sure there's not too much paint. You're going to do, this is called overbrushing. It's like dry brushing, but there's more moisture on your brush and you're going against the grain of whatever you're working on. I don't rinse the brush. I take the paint off on the paper towel beside my palette. This is the side with the shadows, so there won't be as much on that side. The side with the light. And then I'll go take the excess off and go for the super, super light blue that I made over here by the whites. It's a super light touch. $16 more days. Hey, Danny, how you doing? I'm gonna take some of the cold yellow and mix down a little glaze batch with it and bring it in a little bit more. I don't like how sharp the shadow transition is, so I'm gonna glaze over it again. See, it's not as bad on the dark side, but I just think really that's because it has the shadow a little bit different. I'm going to take that sun ray and mix it with a little bit of that and get the tops of these feathers with it. So I mixed a little sun ray with the cold yellow to create this highlight where we get that little bit of a glowing yellow feather, okay? Barely any in the shadows though. Danny, we're doing a dual stream with Miniocalypse if you'd like to join. There's a link And lastly but not leastly, I'll take a little bit of that sun ray just by itself and get it right along the edges of those feathers, right along the front of those feathers. Because there is yellow and blue next to each other, I will take a little of that sun ray and mix it with a little blue. You've got to have a very light touch when you start going over the feathers to get just the feathers if you want to keep the dark in the background of them, you know, their shadow. So I use the side of the brush and very, very light touch. On this side, being as there's light, I can get the shadow the highlight just a little bit more. I'm gonna add some little tiny spots just to get the glistening. Oh, it's not yet. No, I can totally understand that, Danny. I can totally understand that. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I think we're kind of getting where we want to be with this guy. We're getting ready to do his armor here. Now, if I don't like the armor with this color, you guys, then we'll just go back and paint over it with the black, a matte black. I might have actually had this nickel out for it, but I think that the nickel's a little bit too loud. That's why I'm going, because I'm pretty sure that's what that was about. Yeah, does he look good? Awesome. That's what I want to hear. Oh, yes, that is. That's my paint vibrator. Excuse me, buddy. I gotta move you because I gotta have a place to put some paint. This is more of a pearl paint than anything else, you guys. All right, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna paint the armor. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this pearly armor, but they do say that these guys are quite fancy, so you know, it might just work out. I'm gonna go over it with the Payne's Gray ink when we're done. So it may actually work out okay. I'm going to use some of the non-metallic metal techniques, which I'm going to include kind of keeping my shadows where I want them, and some super vibrant highlights.
I have a meeting I gotta go take upstairs.
Okay. Make sure my head's not in your way. Let's see where this leads us. So the object here is going to be to make them look fancy without like overdoing it, I think. His army's pretty, and as you know, I painted his Fire Lord. Now you don't want to get in the grid. So that's part we don't want to get in that grid, because that grid, we want to be able to, we also don't want to get this on the hoses. Who's the visitor from outer space? Oh, the little guy. This would be the Grim Grip Shadow. Where are you located? You in the U.S.? Are you in the U.K.? What is your location, my friend? Your Shadow, why haven't we sat down and painted before? Whereabouts? I'm right outside of Columbus. I want to keep the shadows nice and dark. I'm only going to put a little bit of this in there just to represent, but we're going to go over it numerous times to make sure. Yeah, so Geek is works from the home office today, Danny. So he's got a meeting that he has to go to upstairs, and he's working on fixing a couple of things on the stream. Really, Shadow? Yeah, well, that's a drive, but we do go to a couple of conventions out that way. Okay, somehow I got a piece of the armor painted the wrong color over here, but that's totally cool, because it'll cover that right up, being as it's a pearlescent tone. All right, we want to cover that. Yeah, he's been trying. There's some stuff with the stream that isn't working, as expected. So we're making some changes, Danny, for the new year. Now, I was thinking about painting this sword. True metallic metal, but trying to see how strong my non-metallic metal hand is. Oh, right on, Gallowfire. Well, welcome aboard. We haven't seen you in a minute. Anybody that wants to share their deets, please do. I have a doctor's appointment today, too. I need to keep on track of things. I don't know if I have an alarm set for that, actually. All right, so I feel like this color that I chose works actually really well. I don't think that it's so powerful that it takes over. I like the green in it. It kind of warms it up a little bit. Yeah? What do you think? I also think that it looks almost champagne up next to white, which I can pretty much appreciate. Oh, really? What is Miniocalypse up to now? I see the camera moving. What's it doing? What about any other type of hobbying or art, Gallifire? Anything else? Did everybody's hobby just go to shit when COVID went back to normal work? You swear you can type? Oh, I'm sorry. Shadow, where did you tell me? Oh, yeah. So you're in Ohio. So you should be able to get one of these from Cephalopod. Actually, you know what? If you'd like to buy one from me, my stock is here, Shadow. I was part of that whole Kickstarter, and when it ended, then after everybody got their, after all the Kickstarters that pledged got theirs, then we received ours, and mine just showed up last week. And if you'd like to get one from me, mine are blanks, like they don't have anything fancy done to them. They're not stained or anything, because I wasn't sure what we were going to do. And if you'd like one that you can just paint up custom for yourself, that might be fun. Hello, Vince. How are you doing? We are working on, it's the last day of Noveldar with Studio J, and we are finishing up our last submission to his page. No contest this year. I'm hoping to make a contest out of it next year. What have you been up to? Whoops, sorry guys. Oh, you're fixing something. Okay, so let's see. We've also got some gauntlets that probably should be that color. Or we can... Oh, you're fixing the washer? Oh, he's doing his printing thing. I think we should have some yellow and accessories. So what I'm going to do is mix a little bit of the white with the yellow to give it really good coverage. So I'm using that Sunray white, and that way we can get really good coverage, because we can totally do his yin yang. Yellow and blue. That'll really tie things in nicely. And we can really make that, like, accentuate that through oh yeah, so yeah, it is. It's all magnetized. The ball is not magnetized. The handle is magnetized on both ends, so you can put a really big miniature on top if you want, and then the hat comes off with the ball in it. So a lot of times when I'm not on camera, or if I'm getting up really close, I do this, right? So I can kind of, you know, cuddle it. And the ball comes, so it you know, has this free range of motion. Not just the ball, but also the miniature is magneted there. So like you can take the ball off and still magnet the mini there if you want, but you just don't get... what I get from this is to be able to you know, turn it and get in all the angles I want to. When I first started working on my spine, I had the shakes a lot. And so it was really helpful for that. The original, when Slay was originally designing it, he was designing it to kind of help with pain and whatnot, involving my back, and then it just turned into this whole crazy thing. Anyway, and then what I do is I have bases that I use Gorilla Tape because the tape that I was using was hem tape, but I didn't like it. Thank you very much, Gallowfire. So I just take these little magnets and I use Gorilla Tape. So first of all, I have holders that I put the magnets, I put a magnet on the bottom of, and when I'm done with this miniature, I will snap it off this holder. So I like mine, tacky doesn't work for me. It never has. So I put mine on a small holder with a magnet, right? This is a strike plate, so underneath of it is a magnet, and then the magnet goes right through that metal. I mean, I can turn it this way, okay, 360, and I can get pretty much 360 this way as well, all the way around. So it gives me a lot of range of motion, and it keeps my, I'm able to do better on my detail work because of it. And then I bought this little container that has a magnet in it so that I had a place to put it also, because when I pull this off, okay, and I put another one on here, I can secure my minis in the little plate so that they don't end up running away from me, which they do. Hey, Hecatone, welcome. How are you doing? Oh, you've been painting your cosplay. That's a big project right there. I don't do cosplay much anymore. Let's see, I'm also going to mix a little bit of white with the blue to get really good coverage on this on the front. Okay. Simony, are you out there? Did you just like roll right by and I didn't even see? There you are. What, have you been quiet? Have you been being quiet? Oh my gosh. You made your name look like the same color as an alert, so I would never even notice you were there. I am ignoring. No, I'm not ignoring you. Really, did you like pop in there and say something and I just totally ignore? I feel bad. Did you say hi? I'm going all the way back in the chat. I don't see it. Oh, Terry. Hello. Thank you very much. Thank you for that compliment. I'm so sorry. I'm like getting into this so deeply that I'm just missing shit. Thank you so much and welcome aboard. It's nice to see you. I hope you're still out there. Terry Yin? Or Terry Jin? I don't see you. I don't see you. Simony, really? Really? You know, Trader, it's been rough. The game situation has been rough. You know what? I have to do the same thing. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to wear this all wrong. I have to do the same thing. Hang on. But first I have to do the other side of this so that I remember where I am. Simony, did you greet me and I didn't say hi? I'm so sorry. This is a lot of tiny work on this guy, you guys. So I guess I'm missing stuff in the chat and I apologize. Listen, I don't mean to ignore you guys. If I miss you, please don't think it's because you're being ignored. Pop back in the chat and say, hey, I'm trying to talk to you, lady. Oh, you were joking. Okay. All right, that's official. I actually have to go take my medicine. Okay, so we're going to do like yellow and... Oh, hold on. Let me bring that in for you guys. Yellow and blue on his yin yang. Yin and yang, is that right? Or is it yin yang? You know what? That always confuses me. Yeah, thank you, Shadow. Thank you. We are doing a co-stream with Miniocalypse. today. Okay, so I'm going to come back. I think I'll do the same thing like with the gauntlets. I think that the yellow gauntlets would be really cool, or even maybe the metal. Yin and the yang. Yes, I do. I miss a lot of messages on Tech Tuesday, you guys. It's not the same as date night. Like, I really get into my painting because I'm like just going for it. So as you can see though, we got some decent shadows developed. This is going to come out a lot better. You'll see that when we add the highlights for the white, it gives it like much better volume. But you've got to kind of bear with it for a minute while we go through the motions, because it always looks, I think white always looks a little bit muddy when we're first like, you know, getting it just right. But I do, this particular true metallic metal, you guys, is actually kind of a pearlescent color. More so than like super fine ground particles. This is a scale 75 color, and the particles are really fine, you guys. So when you paint it on, it has, I don't know, it kind of has a really nice metal effect, but not looking like metallic. It looks more like a pearl in a way. I think it's going to work out really good. This particular one is called thrash metal. That is item number SC64. And I'd like to show you guys some Pop Goes the Monkey stuff when I get back. I'll show you guys my kit bash that I'm working on because you guys weren't here earlier. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It's crazy good. The Yogg. Okay. All right. Yes, I shall show you the craziness here in just a minute. I am going to go upstairs and grab my medication and take a quick bio. I do not have an intermission screen, so you guys are going to have to hang out with this fellow here. Be easy on him. Don't let the orcs take over the desk, and I'll be right back. I'm also going to move my mat because my chair keeps falling in the hole. And it's peeving me. I have to put it at an angle. It's so weird. It hurts my back when it falls in that hole. There we go. There we go. I'll be right back, you guys. Oops. Let's leave those so they don't fall on my face. Sorry guys, I had to grab a little something to eat. I actually just ate a few. I made some really good spaghetti last night. And so I ate a few bites of that this morning, but I realized it was already like 2 and I hadn't eaten anything. And I had to get my water because Misko's out there watching me. All right, let's see how far we can get on this. All right. I do have about 30 minutes left. How are the funds going for Miniocalypse, Shadow? All right, I'm going to take... Oh, we're still at 870? Aw, boo. I was really hoping that today we'd make it at least to that 1,000 point and I'd be able to give away these orc boys. My understanding is that he's going to be closing it today. Am I understanding that correctly? Times are hard all around though, so I kind of get it. All the stream. Whoop, sorry guys. That's not helping you, is it? There we go. Sorry guys. I know all the streams have been kind of slow and everything. Geek's birthday is New Year's Eve, you guys. We don't know if we're going to be streaming again this year or not. There's supposed to be like a flag going up here. I've got to figure out what I'm going to use for that banner. I think I'm going to steal one of the banners out of my my kit bash box and put it on him because he came without a banner. Hello, Blade Mark. Oh, right on. This is good news. I don't want to make him look hokey. So I got to make a wise decision about those gauntlets. I seriously feel like we should just stick with the metal. You know what? I think if we paint those gauntlets yellow, he's going to look like a dork, you guys. And I don't want to make this guy's lord look like a dork, you know? We've still got all these jewels to paint, so it's going to be like all about the jewels the next time. Simini sent me a tutorial on, I think it's Jewel Light. No, I took the medication. Stop reminding me. Simini, was that a tutorial on Jewel Light that you sent me? And I owe you guys a tutorial on, all of my Patreons, a tutorial on pointillism. Right? Because I didn't, that, you guys, I'm telling you what, it has been, like, seriously, life has just been an ass kicker. And I don't want to give up on the Patreon because the Patreon, I think, is just such a much better way to be supportive than, you know, being an affiliate, you guys, for me. So I don't want to give up on that. I want that to be ultimately where we go and where we gather and learn. Oh, you know, we could do a whole stream on that, Vinth. I can tell you this, my dear. I don't mean to be discouraging. I really don't. But if you're going to do it, if you have an existing business where painting miniatures is your business and you're doing it to enhance your business, yes. If you just want company while you're painting and you have no expectations of monetary value from it, yes. if you are setting it up to become part of a business that you're starting, then I'm gonna, you know what happened over COVID was that the market got flooded. There's so many people streaming now that for those of us that are streaming and it's part of our business plan, it just didn't exactly work out the way we thought it would. Hi, Too Many Sprues. How are you? Did I greet everybody? You know, I feel bad because, you know, that person popped in. Oh, I didn't even look. I'm sorry. I need to look at what you were working on. Hold on, Real Brush Guy. I'm really slow on Tuesdays. Oh, your pumpkins. That's right. They look fantastic. Oh my gosh, I love them. I love pumpkins. I love them. Did you see my post, Real Brush Guy, with the pumpkin that is hand sculpted? And they only make like so many of them. Oh my gosh, you got to take a look at it. You got to take a look at it. It's in my Instagram. I did post it in my Instagram. And somebody came in and told me that my Eldar looked hot and I missed them in the chat. And I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is like a machine gun on his arm. Did I got that right? Okay. Oh my gosh, with your bone. You know what? You guys, I will put pictures. So when Geek got his, we did Christmas. That's what we did. And we agreed that one thing would be a new mattress. We're doing a new mattress. Anybody out there tried the Big Fig? The mattress, the Big Fig? We're going to do the purple this year. And if it doesn't work out, cut it into cushions for the upstairs loft. And then we're going to do the Big Fig. But let me see what you got. Oh, that would be amazing, Vince. Oh, that would be so cool. Oh, yes, big boys, big boys, big boys. Oh, squigs. Oh, squigs, yes. Oh my gosh. Is that available right now, the red gobo? Oh my gosh. I can't believe I missed that. I didn't even know it was out there. I wonder if our game shop has it. I want the red gobo. That is quite the haul. I did not know that red gobo thing was happening. I tell you what, I miss that sometimes. But, you know, I haven't been paying as much attention to that stuff because life has just been like, you know, being a real kick in the balls. Yeah, this is the thing I really like, Shadow, about this is being able to get all those little nooks and crannies and it's held like stable in a spot while I do it. Oh, I can see, hold on, I see this little bracket, okay. There we go. Okay. I need a much smaller brush. Hi, Paul John. Some Black Templar sword. Oh, really? Oh. That sounds like fun, too. To red gobo. Oh, he is? Well, I like to get it from my local game store is one of our sponsors here in Ohio, Shadow. So he's one of the sponsors. So when I'm giving stuff away, he gives me beautiful game table adventures. Oh my God, I'm so terrible. I'm terrible, you guys. Game Table Adventures. They're in Newark. I know, right? I'm trying to do a lot more painting in the new year, you guys, of privately. Okay, that one's not gonna work either. Hold on, I gotta get the right brush, you guys. I think I have to break out these. Hold on. Uh-oh, these don't have a tiny one. What is that one? No, that's not gonna do what I want it to do. That's got a good point on it, though. Oh, you're gonna do, oh, that's gonna be so much fun, Danny. That's gonna be so much fun. We'll have to do like a hangout and do that, because I'm really, are yours gonna be part of my pirate crew? You know that Pop Goes the Monkey is making, a chapter that's just for us. Okay, that looks really good, you guys. I think I'm pretty happy with that idea about the gauntlet being that color. I just feel like, don't you think if the gauntlet was yellow, it would just look off? Hey, Spruce. All right, so I'm gonna mix, I'm gonna take a little bit of this blue and I'm gonna mix it into the metallic, okay? I'm going to show you guys a little trick about working with metallics. Now, what I'm going to do is in here in the shadows, there's part of a gauntlet, okay? So what I did is I mixed part of the blue with a tiny bit of the metallic, and I created a metallic shadow. Now, I don't believe that we got to get too sexy with shadows and metallic, but I will tell you this. If something is metallic, it probably has a little bit of light that reflects off of it. So what I do is I just mix the surrounding color in it, and then I go back in to the shadows and I put a little bit like that. So you can sort of see it, but it's not like blatantly obvious. He does have a little piece of fabric hanging out back here that got painted the wrong color, I think. Pretty sure on that. Can you guys hear music? Pretty sure that that's part of his white garment. A new gaming rig. Wait. What's a gaming rig? Oh, gaming rig. Okay, what is he doing? What is Miniocalypse showing you guys? I want to know. What's he using that baking pan for? Somebody tell me. Oh, never mind. It's his palette. Is he all done? I didn't even see any colors go on his. Wait a minute. Is he all done? Really? Oh, new PC. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Oh, he was showing you his wet palette. You know what I'm really excited about? You know what I did, you guys? Is I backed Kit's wet palette. The one from Game Envy. Sorry, I really shouldn't be bowing my head that much. You know what it is I'm not using my ball. And my neck has been really weird, and I need to not do that because, yep, I'm not using my ball. So you know what? Not one person told me how their Thanksgiving was. I guess you've just told enough people that, haven't you? Okay, so now we're going to get into this really technical part here. I'm getting my ball. Where the hell is my ball? There she is. Hang on, guys. Okay. So I'm going to get into the part on his little boots. There we go. Before I do that, I'm going to save that. Before I do that, I'm going to get into the ink again. Oh, no, we didn't eat. All we did was just hang out. We ate appetizers and watched movies. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, you know what? Geek and I, we wanted to do something different this year. And we decided that we would just do Thanksgiving just for us. We did not cook a turkey, but I do have a turkey. So I got a new smoker for Christmas, you guys. Right. And I knew you guys would want to see it, so we're going to smoke in it. We're going to do a little stream for that. This is the Payne's Gray ink. I'm getting in here in the shadows. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's not do that. It makes for super good dark blue shadow. Actually, it's a good shadow for anything, to be honest with you guys. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks, Vince. I'm sorry about that. You know, I've been in a couple of really bad ones myself. So that's one of the reasons I super duper duper appreciate Geek, is because prior to Geek, my two relationships prior to Geek were super abusive. One was crazy abusive and a cheater. That was the first one. And the second one, he's passed. We were friends, but he was an alcoholic. And yeah, it was rough. So I really appreciate Geek a lot. He's just a really super nice person. Really, really nice to the family. His mom loves me, which is so cool. Actually, I'm still friends with my first partner's dad. We became really good friends, me and the dad, and we're still friends today. Okay, so I got this really deep shadows around the blue laid in, so that when I get in here, we want to make sure that the dark colors, because if we got to come back in here and try to put, if you could imagine trying to come back in here and put the dark colors in, what that would be like. Oh, that's good to hear, Shadow. That's really good to hear. Yeah, I kind of, the first one was, so my second partner, look, I'm not saying that what he did was right, but we were friends to a point. You know, we just didn't work kind of as a couple. My first one, oh my gosh, he's something, you guys, just something. He's a work, that's for sure. But my second one, he quit drinking for 5 years, and I thought it was going to be fine. I mean, and during that time, he was good. Things were good. And then one day, he just decided he wanted to start drinking again. And wow. So I was like, okay, no. Nope, that's not working. That's not working. All right. Now let's see. I need to get this white cloth kind of filled out here. This little bit waving behind him here. Yeah, I think, you know, as we move along in life, we just kind of learn. And we cannot fix other people. And we just got to do what's best for us. That's the best you can do. And hopefully, if you're really lucky, you'll be able to do the best for your kids too, you know? All right, that looks pretty good. The shadow's pretty deep, so I'm gonna like just sort of get maybe just a touch. It's because it's really gonna be mostly the colors around it. And again, we're going for that. I really want it shadowed, but at the same time, it is gonna kind of be a little bit separated from everything else. You know, Danny, you don't seem like a shitty person. Why are you having a shitty moment in life, Danny? Okay, now I'm going for the blue, mind you, and then we're just going to come in here and pick up the areas that have a little more light on them with the blue. We're going to leave the feet nice and dark, though. We don't want to draw too much attention to the feet.
Yeah.
This will be the shadow in the areas that are in the light.
Cap, I require your attention, please.
Okay, hold on. I got blue.
You got blue?
Yeah, I got blue.
I wish I had that problem. Oh, wait, I do have that problem.
Okay, guys. Hang on, Geek needs my attention. Don't get crazy with any highlights on the feet. We don't want the eyes drawn to the feet, right? But you'll notice how much more blue that is. Ouch! I won't entirely vouch for a person until I really know them. But as far as I know from my dealings here, yeah. The people that hang here, I find them all to be good people. But I have learned that until I actually meet a person in person and can get my vibe, I won't say, yeah, you know, or maybe I spend a lot of time online with them, like privately, where I can really get to know them and about their life and stuff. Yeah, because things can kind of be a little deceiving on the internet. So, but in general, I like to say that the people that I spend time with here and that show up here and hang out here are good people. For the most part, I think I can feel the ones that are. Look at how beautiful that blue is. Yes.
I'm about to jump in a meeting. That meeting's going to run to the very moment we need to start getting ready to go.
Oh, okay.
you're going to need to set an alarm for yourself.
Okay, so I should, well, if that's the case, then I should, because that means, what about dog and all that? Are you jumping in the meeting at what time?
In less than 5 minutes.
Okay, so I'm going to take everybody over to Minneapolis then. You guys, yeah, I think that Billy Blue, hey. So listen, I have a doctor's appointment, you guys, and I've got to get the dog ready, right? Geek's gonna go into a meeting, and so and it's gonna run, he said, to the last minute when we got to go, which means, and I've got to get the dog ready, and I've got to make sure that all the paperwork and whatever I need to take with me is all in order, and I will get off on a whole nother level of painting, you know, and I will forget. So what we're gonna do is take you guys over to Minneapolis' stream. Now remember, you guys, that he's got a GoFundMe running, okay? And be sure to somebody, Too Many Sprues, Danny, Shadow, you guys are all friends with me in the Patreon. So if we hit that 1,000 mark, just notify me in Patreon. And Minneapolis can do the giveaway in his channel if he knows how, and then you guys can send me the information. All right. In the meantime, it really was. I have to go adult. This is the second experimental injection on the thoracic, which is the center back above your waistline, and so hopefully. The next one will actually be the nerve burning. This has been working great, you guys. It's been working great. Thank you very much, Ishan, you guys. Thank you for making it. We've got most of this guy in order. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to show you my my Orkmobile, but I'll take pictures and put Decka Decka Bang Bang in the Instagram for you guys to take a look at, okay? Meanwhile, we're going to send you over to Minneapolis. You know, we'll be here Friday. Right? And so between now and then, you know the gig, right? The brushes, the paints, the minis, and get your fucking paint on. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was nice to have a nice crowd. It was really nice. And let's get, we didn't get a shout out for Pop Goes the Monkey, you guys. I want to get a shout out so you guys that are building and want to do some kit bashing, want to make your own regiment, whatever, you need to go check it out. He has expanded the goodies since he and I started too. So he's got like the ore cans, and he's got beer bottles, and he's got a mimic cooler, and he's got all kinds of cool stuff, like all kinds of cool stuff. So you guys should definitely pop in there and check him out. Are you pulling the raid?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right, you guys. I will see you on Friday. Keep in touch.
Can you click the stop streaming button?
Not
on the deck.
Oh, yeah.